The mission of the 212's Art Center is to provide a creative hub offering visual and performing artists the opportunity and working space to come together to work, create, and teach. The center also contributes to the cultural life of residents of Saline and its environs by supporting a full schedule of classes, programs, performances, and exhibits. We look forward to providing a framework for a vibrant and supportive arts community, with varied opportunities for artists, students, and audiences. The center provides an environment conducive to the creative process. Exhibits and shows will be held periodically throughout the year to highlight local artists' work. The public is encouraged to view and purchase the artwork.
I moved to Michigan in 1993 from Boston, Massachusetts, after having found my husband, who was my high school sweetheart. 2 years after we got together, I was diagnosed with leukemia, and I only had 3 years to live. And that was in 96. And then I discovered a clinical trial at Carmanos. The trial was for a drug at that time, which was called STI 571, and it was specifically for what I had. And I was accepted into the trial, and in 3 months I was in remission, and in 6 months I was in total remission. And I knew I wanted to get back to work. So I wanted to do something with my English and my drama, and I knew I could start my own company and do something on my own, but I couldn't quite figure out what it would be. But I wanted to do something that would make a difference. I started working at Brecon Village, and through my work there with the elderly people, I started doing interviews with them. And then I went off to Tom Curvin, who was running the Saline Reporter. He hired me as a reporter, and he would give me feature assignments. Most of them had to do with artists. And I would go out and saw artists working all by themselves without any networking going on. One artist would know about another artist, and they were all in separate locations. And I thought it would be a great idea to get them all together and have a community of artists where they could share and not be working in a vacuum. So that's what I wanted to do, but I didn't quite know how to do it. And each day as I came down the street from the Saline Reporter to my home in Lodi Township, I would pass that house at 212. And I just loved that house. And I thought I could make a little art center there and maybe have all my ideas come to fruition. So I opened the doors, and there wasn't much on the walls. And the first artist who came in was Jan Israel, and she said, "This doesn't look much like an art center. I'll be right back." And she came back with a car full of her paintings and a nail and a hammer, seriously, and hung them all up and gave me a mailing list. And then we started. And then Val Mann was meeting with people about doing a mural on a building downtown. And we met at Val's house, and I thought, oh, here's a bunch of artists. We could get them together. People started hearing about us. Eventually, we opened a pottery studio in the basement of 212. But meanwhile, we were flourishing with our two-dimensional art and our classes, and the foundation and the board. They were very happy about what was going on. As we grew out of the 212 building. So Rob Kinsey, who was working with us also at the time, found this building 2 doors over. So we jumped over here. But that's how it started.
I got started at the 212 Arts Center in September 11th, 2006 is when I was hired. I was the first hire for 212. The Art Center, what it means to me, it is my second home. It is somewhere where I've been nurtured, and Margie encouraged us to grow and to step out of our comfort zone. And my favorite thing about 212 is its artists are so creative, and it's great to see that creativity. I'm not an artist when I started, but I feel like I've become more of an artist because of that, of 212.
My artistic passion is mostly in theater. I mean, that's what I'm familiar with. That was what I was familiar with 10 years ago. But I've learned a lot about two-dimensional art, all kinds of media, and it's surrounded me for 10 years. And I love seeing what comes from a blank piece of paper or a blank piece of fabric, those things that come out of nothing. And the excitement of artists and the sharing of artists and how excited they can get over small pieces of what I used to think was nothing, a little piece of straw or a button. What we've done is build a community around art, and that's really a great thing. And people come here and feel safe, and they can express themselves through their art and network.
The best part is that you have people teaching and learning from each other that both have anywhere from a master's degree down to being self-taught, and we all learn from each other in ways that it's a real non-hierarchical place, so everybody sort of looks at each other as having possibility and things to teach each other. You know, you learn almost as much sometimes in a class from the person next to you as you do from the teacher, and it's just a wonderful, nurturing environment for learning new techniques and honing old techniques. So 212 Art Center is a place where you're going to have a great time learning something and meet new friends. There was a good quote several years ago, Phyllis Martin, she was 82, and she said at one point, you know, I never thought at this point in my life I'd be making such great new friends. And I thought, at any point in your life when you get to make great new friends, it's cool, you know? So here's Phyllis, who's 40 years older than me, and here's me at my age that's still making good friends, so.
It means a lot to me. It's my community now and my friends. I came from a place I knew, as I said, no one. And now I have dear friends, families, and a place where I feel like I belong. And I've learned so much about art. The journey has been learning how to coordinate all the programming. And we've worked out in the community. Thursday nights in the summer at Summerfest, we bring chalk. The kids are learning art and having fun. And we also do summer programs with kids. So we're spreading art through the community, and that's exciting.
I started working at 212 Art Center 8 years ago. Working at 212 Art Center, I work with all my friends, they're my family, and we all support each other. And Margie has just been so nurturing. I've grown so much, become a better person. I have taken all kinds of art classes and gotten very creative. People think, they say, oh, you work at the Art Center, you're an artist, you must teach. And that's not true, but I've taken all these classes that have just brought out so much in me that, I make all kinds of things now. It means the world to me. It's my dream job, and I love it there.
I think the thing that I love most about 212 is the fact it's such a warm and inviting place for everyone to be, including those of us who work there. We are an extended family, and we are given the opportunity to pretty much create and develop anything that we want to there, as long as it meets the mission we have, which is to support arts and to, educate people in the community about the arts that we have. So we have a lot of freedom there, and that's probably one of my favorite things.
My favorite part of working at the Art Center, first of all, is the people. Not only these people and Margie, but also all the instructors, and just having access to that inspiration and creativity all the time. It's just so great having a place where there's a sense of creative community and you can really connect with other artists and draw inspiration. It's hard to pick really one moment. I think for me, a lot of the things are personal celebrations that these people have helped me celebrate, like my wedding, and they threw a shower for me before I got married, and we do birthdays every year, and it's just special. It's really like a second family. So.
My favorite part of the Art Center is that my little seed grew into a very large community. And for 10 years, we've seen kids grow up, and we've seen marriages, and we've seen deaths and sickness and healing. And people have been turned on to art, which is great. People who think they're not artists, so I can't draw a straight line, they come here and they realize there aren't a lot of straight lines, actually.
I just love this center because It really was a place for me to congregate with other people from the community. This place has really inspired me. I love this place. I love the events that they have for the public, and I love the accessibility of the arts through this. You know, a lot of art centers and art galleries are kind of intimidating to people, you know, if you don't know anything about the arts. This place is just the opposite. Everybody has a creative streak, no matter what, and no matter how old you are. And this is a great place to explore that.
There's so much. There's so much.
It's just hard to pick one. That's the one that stands out the most. But it's, you know, Summerfest, just people stopping by the tents, and first people, you know, they're new to 212 Arts, and they'll come back as students. And the people we haven't seen in a while will come and share how our lives have touched them. Art on the Runway. It's a fantastic. Every year we're surprised at the creativity from our artists at 212 and new people who want to be part of 212 who share.
Our holiday sale is just awesome. Every year we sell so much. What was it, like 15,000?
Last year was a record breaker, but this year it was close to that.
It's close to $15,000, and these are all people that come to 212, and they sell what they make, and the town loves it, and
people wait for the holiday sale postcards. And the music series, going down, the Art on the Go, when it goes down to the music series, and seeing the little kids waiting for us on the curb for the 212 van to get there and get the chalk out. And then the music begins, and the kids are dancing, and then they're playing around, and they're creating art on the streets. And it's welcomed by the downtown businesses. I think that's nice too. I would say the hardest thing with anything is taking that first step, and to allow yourself to take that first step. And once you take that first step into 212, once you walk through the doors at 212, you're going to feel welcomed. You're going to see that art isn't scary, and there's something that you can do, and there's no judgments. It's just express yourself, and you're encouraged, and people believe in you, and they will boost you up and make you feel better about who you are, what you do, and encourage you to do more.
212 Art Center, it saved my life. It had been since college, since I had other creative people to share ideas with and to connect with. And one day I was taking my daughter to the dentist just kind of across the way there, and I saw 212 Art Center, and I'm like, we gotta check that out. We came in when they were closed, and I'm like, I just need a brochure. I gotta see what you guys are about. And so they invited us to come to Cake Eaters. The people were just so friendly and so creative and so welcoming to share their gifts and their talents. And I've been here like every opportunity since then, taking numerous classes. I actually have been teaching some classes here too. So yeah, it's become kind of a way of life for me.
So 212 has been a place that's
Here we're all gonna start to cry now.
It's been so supportive and loving, and when somebody is having problems, they are there for you, and it's just, there's no judgment, and there's no limits of what you can do. They make you feel like you can go in and create a sculpture or get through cancer or, you know, any of these things. And so it really is just a special place. It's a special place.
It's all been a very big reward. I guess it's just hearing people say, I never knew I could do this, look what I've done, and they'll show something that they've created. Or people just being so proud of their work and willing to put it out there and show it. Art on the Runway, which we had recently, and people say, oh, I can't do that. That's pretty scary. But people coming out of themselves and just jumping into an art world that they never knew they could do. Never dreamed they could do it. I never dreamed I could do it, they would say. And that's really rewarding.